Here's where policy actually matters, right? And here's where elections actually matter. Donald Trump the administration is looking to end the temporary protective status for immigrants from El Salvador. Salvadorans who have been here in the United States since 2001, since the earthquake killed thousands, since it devastated, I believe, it either destroyed or damaged approximately 300,000 homes, 150,000 buildings destroyed. I mean, the entire country was devastated. And so in 2001, we created the temporary protective status, which allowed them to move here and to work. And those that were already here, they were able to get work permits, and they were able to send remittances back home. And listening to NPR this morning, you find out that 2% of the entire economy of El Salvador is based on the some $600 million that are sent back annually from people who live here and is sent there, which is the $600 million, which is greater than the U.S. aid to El Salvador. But if you think about we're sending $600 million, think about the money that remains in the United States that's circulated through our economy as a result of Salvadorans. And you think about 200,000 people who will no longer be able to work. They will go back into the shadows. They'll no longer be paying taxes. Maybe they'll consume, but they won't. Their consumption rate will go down tremendously because they won't be working regular jobs. They'll be back on the black market looking for work. This is where elections absolutely have an impact because of the humanitarian side of it. Having hundreds of thousands of people who are going to have to go back into the shadows of society, number one, or two, be deported to a country that they probably never knew. Right. So there's the human side of it, but then you also have the economic side of it. Donald Trump is focused like a laser on destroying the immigration to the United States as we know it and undermining, even if it costs the lives of individuals, no matter what it takes. He has a laser-like focus on destroying immigration in the United States in every form and fashion. He did this last month with people of Haiti, some 45,000 Haitians who were here after the 2010 earthquake, where over 160,000 people were killed. The entire country was devastated. Donald Trump has rescinded the temporary protective status for Haitians. If you think about the Muslim ban, the attempt at the Muslim ban, you think about him using deferred action for childhood arrivals, DACA. He's using that as a political negotiating tool to get funding for another round of bigotry with the Mexican border wall. He's saying, Democrats, if you want to do something with the Mexican, if you want to do something with DACA, then give me funding for the Mexican border wall. The Mexican border wall, which is going to be a permanent monument of white supremacy and a permanent shrine to Donald Trump. This is the real tangible effects of the election where Donald Trump won. A lot of people, I will not allow false equivalencies to tarry. There was a difference. There was a difference whether or not people want to admit it now, whether or not people are still angry and still, the only person I think that is more hated in America than Donald Trump is Hillary Clinton. People still love to hate her. It feels good to them to hate her. But the reality of it is that everything that I just listed that's hurting the lives of about 1 million individuals in this one category of policy issues, Hillary was not going to do that. But that's not even the point of the conversation. The conversation is that this is where we are, and we only have one move to make to help in only one category of this. There's nothing that we could do with regard to the Salvadorans because that's 100% underneath the purview of the President of the United States. There's nothing that we could do for the people of Haiti because that's 100% in the purview of the President of the United States. The only place that we could actually help someone in this category, in all these categories, would be the dreamers, would be to leverage our ability to shut down funding for the government. And that's it. And not be pressured into a corner thinking that we're negotiating from a position of weakness and give up the border wall. This is the only move that we have. And in fact, Democrats are in a power position. because they could stop funding, the government will shut down, Republicans would 100% take responsibility for it and lose even more so in 2018. More seats would be lost. So the Democrats could actually negotiate from a position of power, yet and still we have people floating the idea that we should capitulate, that Democrats should capitulate with regard to the border wall. And I'm like, does anybody play poker? Does anybody out there honestly not understand when you're in position, it's your time to make a move, you could raise the stakes, you don't have to give up anything, you could take from them everything, but yet and still we have Democratic-leaning journalists, left-leaning, well, I can't say left-leaning, but center-left-leaning journalists who are saying that we should give up the Mexican border wall in exchange to help the students. No. You don't understand. The government shuts down. They need Democratic votes to keep the government open, right? So in what world do you take a position of power and turn it into a position of weakness? We're going to see. It may end up being the world of Chuck Schumer. I don't know. We'll see. But this is so important because this is one of the places where we're going to be able to delineate between whether or not Democrats are merely feckless or are they feckless and nefarious? Are they doing this intentionally? Because so what if the government shuts down? Why do we need a government that's up and running and functioning, and it's functioning to hurt Americans? And I do know there's a lot of government employees who are like, Ben Dixon, shut the entire hell up because we don't want to miss our check. I get it. I understand. Government, when the government shut down, I think the longest might have been, I forgot exactly how long the government shut down underneath Bill Clinton, long enough for him to get in trouble with Monica Lewinsky, but I digress. The point is, what good would it be for us to capitulate and give Donald Trump everything that he wants when we are already in a position to demand from them everything that we want? It makes absolutely no. Denise in the chat room said, yes, she needs her check. Absolutely. I get it.